So now we're on Daf Ayin Gimel Amid Beis. Mishudahai in the case of Mishkav Zocher Lav Urchehu. Veha in the case of Naramarasa Kapogimli. Avol Shar Rayas that have, in a sense, both advantages, or they're lacking both negatives. Because it's not Lav Urche like Zocher, it's Urche. And it's not Pagima because Lo Nofesh Pigmayu. It's not the same Pagam Gadol as an Aramurasa, where, the Oris wanted to marry her without this Gnai, is Emalo. Maybe the Torah would not allow you to kill the Rodef to be Matzil the Nirdefes. It's because of Rahmana Chet. So the extra word Chet in the Pasuk, so again, as we saw on Daf Ayin Gimel Amid Aleph, there was an extra piece in the pasuk. The pasuk says "V'lanara lo saseh davar," and then it says "Ein lanara chet maves." So once it says "V'lanara lo saseh davar," why do we need "Ein lanara chet maves"? So the word "chet" is coming to teach me all the arayos because Rahmana chet, but it didn't have maves. Hava mina afilu mechayve lav. Even in the case of Almana L'Kohen Gadol, you can kill the Rodef because of what? Because it's unbelievable that the Rodef is a Kohen Gadol, but in any event, we can kill it because it says the extra word Chet. It's Kosar Achmana Chet Mavis. What does the word Mavis teach me? That we're only talking about a Chet that has Misa, not Chayve Lavan. In the case of Rodef of Chayve Lav, like Almana L'Kohen Gadol, we did not kill the Rodef because of Rahmana Maves. If the Torah had only used the word Maves, Hava Mina, Chayve Mises Pesin in, Chayve Krisus lo. But if it's an Arayas and Erva of Chayve Krisus, then it doesn't reach the level of Maves, and therefore there's no din of Harigas HaRodef. It's therefore because of Rahmana Chet to include Chayve Krisus. So the Gemara asks, the lichtov Rachmana Chet Mavis Loboy Nara V'Nara Nar V'Nara. In other words, it would seem that we have almost the Kal V'Chomer. If you kill a Rodef Achar Ha'erva, then certainly you would kill a Rodef Achar Zachar or Achar Nara Murasa, where Nara Murasa is an extra element of Pagima and Bizayon, and an impact on the relationship with the Arus. So why not derive Zachar and Nara Murasa from a Kal V'Chomer, from Chet Maves? If the pasuk would have said Chet Maves and not Nara, so with Marba all Chayve Krisus and Chayve Mises Bezdin that we were allowed to kill the Rodef. Enochinami. Gemara says Chet Maves would have been sufficient. The Ella Nara. Why do we need Nara? So these extra words are a mute, not a reboot. Coming to exclude a Rodef Achara Oved Avodas Kochavim. I shouldn't say Rodef, but I mean to say that a person's about to worship an Avodah Zarah, and to prevent him from doing that terrible Avera, we're going to kill him. And that's what the word Nara is coming to exclude. And Chad Lemute Bema, the Shabbos. That if a person is about to have a relationship, what's called fancy English sodomy with an animal, or he's about to violate the Shabbos, we won't kill him. Again, we'll have to judge him in Bezdin if he has an Edom Masra, and he'll be put to death. Fact Gemara Ule Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai Diomar Ovi Kochavim Oved is Kochav Nita Latzil Benafsha. We kill him before he worships the idol. Is Lamali why we need these miyutim? If a person is about to be Mechal Shabbos, which we might equate with Avodah Zarah, according to Shem Bar Yochai, we might think that you should kill him to prevent him from violating the Shabbos. And so too, if a person is about to have a relationship with an animal, we have to kill him. And the Gemara explains the Salkadait why we would, according to Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, equate these cases with Ovid Avodas Kochavim. Salkadait coming to Teisi Shabbos Michil Chil Me'Avodas Kochavim. That the violation of Shabbos is always equated with Avodas Kochavim. And that's called Chilul Me'Avodas Kochavim. Avodah Zarah, it says, "Umizarach lo sitin la'aver l'moch lo sechal el Hashem Elokecha," and in Shabbos it says "Mechalel mos yumas." So we have the word Chilul in both Avodah Zarah in the case of Moloch and in the case of Shabbos. And here we have a problem because, as Tosfos points out, there are many other parshas where the word Chilul applies, but we only apply them to Shabbos and Avodah Zarah, because here the word Chilul is written by Chiyav Misa. So again, we would derive the din of Mechal Shabbos with Gzeira Shab from Avodas Kochavim from the word Chilul. And just like we kill, according to Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, a person who's about to worship an idol, we should also kill a person who's about to Mechal Shabbos. And therefore the Torah with this miyud tells me and is mechadish that you don't kill a person who's about to be Mechal Shabbos. Ul Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon the Omer Mechal Shabbos nitin latzil b'nafsho. The Asya Shabbos Chilul Me'Avodas Kochavim Michael Meimar. Why do we need this extra Chet Mavis according to Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon, who extends the din of a Rodef to a case of Mechal Shabbos, a person about to be Mechal Shabbos? And the Torah says, "Mechalel mos yumas." We derive Chilul Me'Avodas Kochavim because it says "Lo sechala Hashem Elokecha," that just like in a person who's about to violate Avodas Kochavim, so to a person violate the Shabbos, we kill the person before he violates the Shabbos. It's mamish madhim to kill a person before he's Mechal Shabbos. Is chad miyut l'me'utei behema. So one of these two mi'utim of Chet Mavis is to exclude a person who's about to have a relationship with a behemoth. And the other mi'ut, which is also a superfluous, is we're going to use an agav kind of svara. That agav, the Torah writes nara without a hey at the end. In the Torah now, with the Mesores, that we read it Kri Nara, as if there were a Hey at the end. And since the Parsha is talking about a Nara, therefore, we add the Hey at the end in the Kriya. And why do we need Nar without the Hey? Hutzucha Torah lichtov Nar, k'dei lamed al rodef achar zocher. And the Marsha asks a kasha on Rashi. Zocher vare lo tzorch posig b'fnei atzmo. The Gemara says before that all chayve creases are derived from Chet Mavis. So Marsha suggests that what Rashi has in mind is that Torah used the word zocher of nar without the hey in order to exclude behema. And now we go on to Rabbi Yehuda. We're not going to kill the Rodef. And that's against the Tanakama. The Tanakama holds that that's not a mitigating circumstance. We'll kill the Rodef even though she says that she's Mocheles. So Gemara asks, "But Michael Mifli, what's the case in which there's machlok shin Rabbana Rav Yehuda? What is the svar of the machlok? So Rava b'makpedes al pigma umani chaso shelo yargena." In other words, she doesn't want to have a relationship with him. She's not being mizana with Ratzon, but nevertheless, manachaso, she allows him to do what he wants to do, and she requests that they don't kill him. Shelo yargena. If they see that that he's not desisting, then we should put him to death. And she says, no, please don't put him to death. Is Rabbanan Savri, according to Rabbanan Apagima Kapid Rachmana, right? The Torah was matter killing the Rodef in this case because of the Pagima of the Nara. And Hare Makpedes al Pagima, right? She didn't want to have a relationship with her Baratzon. She didn't want this Pagam. And therefore, the Rabbanan say that's enough to allow the killing of the Rodef from Yehuda. Is the opinion to hide the Komer Achmona Katle, Mishum de Masra Nafshel Ketola. Torah was afraid that she would fight off the Boel, even if it means giving up her own life. And therefore, it's like the case of Bab Machteres that we discussed, that Habala Hargacha Ashkem Lahargo. I mean, this guy is really endangering her life because she may fight him off. But in this case of the Nara, says Rabbi Yehuda, where she was Mocheles, Lo Masa Nafshel Ketola. She requested that they don't kill him, but rather let him go, let him perpetuate the crime that he wants to perpetuate. She already indicated that she has no intention to be Moseres Nafsha. So therefore, there's no heter to kill him to save her life. So that's the Shita Rabbi Yehuda. Now we go back to the Chacham. Amalei Rab Papa le'Abaye almana l'kohen gadol nami kopogim la. If according to Rabbanan the Torah is makbid on pagima, then in the case of a Kohen Gadol, if he is threatening to have a rape situation with an almana, then that's also a pagam because she becomes a chalola. Till now, she's only an almana. She can marry a Kohen. But now, through this pagam, she becomes a chalola. She cannot marry a Kohen. So if the heter, the reason for the heter of hatzola is because of pagam, we should be matir killing the Rodef because he's about to create a pagam. Okay, the Gemara is equating a pagam of Eishes Ish with a pagam of Chayvi Lavim, of Chalolus. Amalei, Sabai responds to Rav Papa, a pagima Rabba Kopid Rachmana, a pagima Zutalo Kopid Rachmana. Torah is makpid on a pagam gadol, right, where her child, if she has a child from this relationship, will be a mamzer. She becomes the zone and the child's a mamzer. And therefore the Torah, to be makpid on the pagam, allowed you to kill the rodef. But pigma zuta, if it's a pagam katan, and it's only chalola, and the vlad is not going to be a mamzer, the Torah wasn't so makpid, and it wasn't matter to kill the rodef in order to prevent a pagam katan, which shall only become a chalola. So if you take a quick peek here, he has a summary of Rashi in Nobet Tezayin. He says, Klomar, she'af shegam zona v'kam chalola psulos l'kuhuna. L'chora, there's no difference between zona and chalola. They're both disqualified from marrying a Kohen. Mikol makom, herpas hazona gdola mishal chalola. She has more of a cherpa. We saw the Gemara on Daf Ein Gimel Minal Chet Elu Chayve Krisus for a minu. This is difficult because of what we learned in Ksubas Daf Chav Tes V'Elu Naras. Sheyesh Lem Knas Habal Achoso. Now Achoso is Chayve Krisus. And if you're allowed to kill the person who's rodef achar chai krisus, then we should apply the principle of kim leib derabamina. In other words, as a result of his redifa la'onsa in his own sister, he's going to be chayev kares, and therefore he shouldn't be paying knas. And this is based on the principle shalom chayvim adam misa v'tashlumin or kares v'tashlumin. The Gemara now is equating kares with misa in regard to kim lev the rabbim. Yeah, he points out here at the end of footnote number Yutes that L'gabi chayvi misas shogegin, we also apply the principle of kim lev b'ramida, even though we don't actually put him to death. Samru Rabbanan Kami Derav Chizda Mishas Ha'ara Pogma Iftar Lemiktola Mamar Lemshalim Ad Gmar Bia. He says the following, that the pagam is incurred or generated by the tchilas bia, which is called ha'ara. But enochinami at that point, after the ha'ara, he's potter from a chiyuv misa. In other words, we can't kill him anymore because we learned already on Amud Aleph that after the aver was done already, you're not allowed to kill him. Now, why is he chayv a chiyuv knas in the case of Nara Shenensa, and she's a basula? Is that's only with Gemar Bia. The chiyuv knas is only engendered with Gemar Bia, when he's Masher Besulel. So in other words, this is not a case of Kimle and Ramina because there's no simultaneity. The Chiyuv Misa is only B'Shas Ha'ara, and the Chiyuv Mamon of Knas is only B'Shas Gemar Bia. Gemara says, Nicha, I can accept that. Lamani Omar Hara Zu Nishika. If Hara is just the beginning of Bia, very, very beginning of Nishika Sa'ever. And already at that point, you reach the level of pagama. And after that, he's not chayiv misa. And the chayiv knas is only chal b'shas hachnasas haTorah, when he removes the b'sulah. So it's not simultaneously, and there's no kim lev rabin aval elaman diomel razu hachnasas haTorah. So it's not considered a bia until he has hachnasas haTorah. So it means that at that point, even after Hara, he's still Chayiv Misa, is Michael and Meimar. Why then, in the case here of Chayiv Krisus, you're allowed to kill him? He says here, Michael and Meimar, Ketzad Niyashev Esadina Mavur Kanch Chayiv Krisus Mutal Atzilam B'Nafshan. The Mishnah Ksubis is saying that what? Nimsa Shemeshir B'Suleh B'Shah Shaddai Mechuyev Misa, right? Because at the point of Ha'ara of Hachnas HaTorah, he had, up until that point, he hasn't yet achieved or implemented a Ma'aseh Bia. So we're going to kill him even at Hachnas HaTorah, and that's the moment in which he incurs a Chiv Mammon for being Meisir B'Suleh B'Torah's Knas, and then we should apply the principle of Kim Lev Ramine and patr him up from Knas. Elom Rav Chizda Kigon Shebol Shalo Kedarka. The Mishnah Ksubis is talking about Shalo Kedarka, and that's how she becomes Paguma, and therefore there's no heta to be matzil her benafsho, because already he completed the crime. Now he has a second beer with Hakedarka, and now he's being Meser Habsulin, and there's no Chiv Misa at that point. There's no Nitan Latzila Benafsho, and at that point he incurs a Chiv Knas, and therefore he has to pay the moment of the Knas. So that's the answer here of Rav Chisda. Now we have an answer of Rava. Rava Omar. Rava says something totally different. And he says, Manichaso shalo yargena ukarab Yehuda. So the Mishnah Ksubis is talking about a case where she says, let the Boel finish his thing and don't kill him. And according to Rabbi Yehuda, he says, as we saw on Daf Ayin Gimel Amud Aleph, that if she says, hey nichulo, we don't save him benafsho, and therefore he has no chiyuv misa, and that's why he could be chayav knas. Now on Daf Ayin Daled, we have a number of other answers. One from Rav Papa Mimafuta, another one from Abai and Yochel Atzia Bechamei Varav. So B'li Neder, that will leave for another occasion. This is where we'll stop for today. And again, Shavua Tov, and thank you so much. Should have a great week and a Freilich Purim.